For all things outdoors, listen to the father of two, the Jesus-loving TV show hosting hairy, true-blood American redneck, Ben Cole.
And listen to the outdoor filming, chef cooking, chocolate milk drinking, John Weissmuller. And we are
Rooted Podcast.
On to the verse.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Rooted Podcast. This episode is going to be filled with a lot of deer stories as deer season is in full swing here in Tennessee. Don't worry, we got a ton of fun, exciting things coming your way. But as always, Ben, start us off right here.
All right, guys. We are in Psalms 51, 10 through 12. Create in me a clean heart, O God. Renew a loyal spirit within me. Do not banish me from your presence, and don't take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and make me willing to obey you. Now, John, I can sit here and relate to this 10 million times in my life because there for a long time, I was a lukewarm Christian, which is hard for me to say because it hurts. Going back and forth, wavering all the time, letting the devil pull me away from God and then running back to God all the time, back and forth, back and forth. So I have been here. I have been this right here. I have said this a million times. And I just want y'all to know that God will never forsake you. He will never leave you behind. Even though you run away, you try to do your own thing, He's not going to let you fail, and He's going to, be there. He's going to be there with open arms when you come back. Like, the father and the wayward son. I am the wayward son. I have been the wayward son so many times, man. And dude, this is just a beautiful thing right here that it talks about in Psalms, and I love it. I have talked about it in my own life, in my own prayers, and man, it just hit me hard this morning.
Hey, I totally get it. Whenever something connects with you, it just connects.
Yes, sir. So, me and you recently went down to the ranch, the Sinking Creek Ranch down in Linden, Tennessee. And folks, today we're going to kind of tell you what we experienced there during our couple-day hunt. Now, granted, we were not able to get up to the top of the mountain because me, being a goof, forgot the side-by-side. Go figure. It's like, how do you forget
That's
the
just
side-by-side?
love.
How do you forget a side-by-side? Well, I don't know. You start driving down the road and get halfway there, and you're like, "Oh crap!"
No, whoops.
Well, folks, I forgot the side-by-side, so here we are. And me and John were like, "Oh shoot, what are we gonna do now?" I was like, "Well, I guess we're gonna hunt the valley that we can get to in the F-250. I reckon that's what we're gonna do." So, John, let's dive in and talk about our hunt there and what fun we had watching them turkeys and all that good stuff.
My goodness. Yeah, so I get off of work Friday evening. We roll into camp per usual, about around 11. Get up the next morning and for the first sit, we're sitting over this beautiful it was daikon radish and maybe some clover in there.
Yep, daikon radish is half of it. So it's daikon radish, turnips, and chicory in one half. And the other half is sporadic radishes with peas, oats, wheat, triticale, and clover.
So we were hunting over that beauty of a plot there, and I mean, dude, it just looked like we were, in a magazine, and but the only thing missing was the deer. So we did not see a deer on that sit, but we did have a bunch of turkeys fly in, and that was, oh my gosh, dude, I don't care what time of year it is. When you watch 3 longbeards fly into a field, it's something of beauty right there. And we did capture some of it on film, so that was super cool as well. But that was kind of the first morning, and then we go back, make a game plan. I think we checked some cameras. We did a couple things, and then it was time for the evening hunt, and we go to a different food plot. That's dude. I mean, you talk about picture perfect. So in this field, and Ben could probably portray this better than I, but I will try here. There's this field, and that's in between two patches of woods, and he has wrapped it with corn, and then in the middle is some sort of like a, I mean, it's a weed, it's a something. What has it been?
So this is the Field of Dreams, and you've heard me talk about it before, but it is my favorite spot to hunt because it is a
It's awesome.
major travel corridor for deer of all kinds, bucks, does, fawns, everything. What you have is in front of you when you're sitting in the shooting house, you have two ridges that meet, and there's two logging roads that come down. So there is a pinch point right there, and there's also another logging road that goes right and left from those two that come down. So these deer are traveling long way down these logging roads to come into this field, but now they can also go across the small creek behind us and travel up the next thicket. I leave that kind of grown up so that we don't have too much, browse and too much food all in one particular area. I try to space it out a little bit. So I've left that field open and just let it kind of grow up, get thick, so those bucks feel safe coming in and out of there. It's more of a staging area, is what I would like to call it. And just at the edge of that, there's another logging road that goes right up the ridge. So you essentially have this funnel that goes right through the middle of this field. And I wrapped the field in corn. And by the way, they have decimated the corn. It's still standing. They have destroyed it.
Oh
And
yeah.
I mean, it was so much fun to sit there and watch those deer eat the corn. But so a lot of times they'll come down either off that ridge in front of you, or they're going to come to your left about 150 yards down and either walk the road that goes to the shooting house, or they're going to cut through the corn there on the corner and wrap around the edge of the field and take the main road up and into the corn. That's just kind of their travel patterns. But inside the corn, I have oats, triticale, and let's see, what else do I have in there? I have some wheat and maybe a little bit of clover. I don't think I had a lot of clover left in that patch. By then it was pretty well used up, but I think there's some still in there.
But it grew up amazing.
Oh man. There's something about that soil in that particular field. Man, I didn't even have to put out a whole lot of fertilizer for the corn because it was so fertile. And that just goes back to show you, when you pull your soil samples, when you know what you're getting into, that $10 soil sample saved me about $1,000 on fertilizer. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to think about it like that. Yes, it does take you some time. Sure. Yes, it does cost $10 and it takes about 2 weeks to get it back. But 2 weeks and $10, that's well worth it to me to
Yeah.
save $1,000 on fertilizer when you know exactly how much you need to put out. Exactly, per acre. And then what I do after that is I go in and I map the spot that I'm going to plant in corn. And then guess what? You know exactly how many acres you got. So you don't have to waste a bunch of fertilizer and put too much out, and then it burns up your corn or food plot or whatever. You don't want too much nitrogen on any plot. I say all that to say that with all these steps that we've done, it has made a beautiful sanctuary for these deer to go and come as they please. Now, when rifle season gets here, I promise you one thing, John. I will be bush
Mm-hmm.
hogging corn to the right and to the left, so that way I can see all the way down. That 6.5 PRC is going to bark Payowie, and
Oh yeah.
so is that beautiful 50 caliber muzzleloader. I'm telling you right now, John, if those bucks do what
Ooh.
they did opening weekend of bow season, they are in trouble come November the 9th. They are in major trouble. Big time.
Oh,
It's
buddy,
not, yeah,
I hear you.
it's not going to be good for them because I'm going to go click, boom, let that
Dude,
old smoke
even
roll, baby.
yeah, exactly. Even that little, well, I say little, I mean it was little on that ranch, but that little buck that we saw, I mean,
Yeah.
that was the last, was that the last morning
Yes, it
I
was.
believe it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, and yeah, we ended up seeing a doe, and then that buck came out, and that's the beauty of having your field wrapped in something tall, like a corn, or you could do like an Egyptian wheat. I've seen sunflowers, anything that grows tall, or just leave tall grass, which is whatever your preference.
Yeah.
And something about having a cover and then having a funnel. So, whenever we have these overgrown fields that Ben's talking, one great thing to do is to just go in there with your brush hog and cut one single path. If you can find a deer trail already and just cut that path, ideally right to your tree stand, basically, and kind of curve it that way the deer walks broadside.
Mhm.
Dude, deer, they're just like anything else, man. They're gonna try to take the path of least resistance, and if
Yes.
you just so happen to make that path a little easier for them to walk, they're gonna walk it.
Mhm.
And then they're going to feel safe because there's cover and there's an easy path. That's like heaven to them. And if it's leading to food that's also covered, oh, buddy, you're in.
Oh yeah.
You are in.
Mhm.
So that's one of the reasons that this buck we saw in the last morning came out, because he was in cover. He was fine. He walked down a path that was already there. He went into cover. We saw him. We couldn't have shot him with the bow even if we wanted to. But to your point of come rifle or muzzleloader season, it's
Mhm.
game on, buddy. These deer got no idea what's going to do. Because let me tell you something, that bullet can rip through a couple ears of corn and still be just fine.
Oh yeah. Well, here's another point that I'm going to add to that. You're talking about with the field being wrapped and all that, and they feel safe because they got cover. Another point to note on that, you're exactly right about that. But another point to note is that a buck is going to come into that cover and into the field to check for does. Because if he can't see into that food plot, he's coming into the food plot to look for
Hmm.
does. That is what he's doing. So ideally you want to make these areas like little pockets of food plots and then have your shooting house in the middle so you can see both sides, and see everything that's going on around you. But he can't. So he has to go from one to the next to the next to the next, which ultimately is going to aid in your success in the long run because he's going to be out there longer looking for does in those areas. So I would highly suggest wrapping your field for what John's saying and for the points that I'm bringing to you. That is one of the main reasons that I do it, not only for cover, but it's also food too. So you got to think about that. It's just
Yes.
extra food source. It's cover. It makes those bucks feel safe. They can come out. They can eat. They can look in the field to see what is out there. And who knows? They may come within bow range. You can't ever tell about a wild animal.
No, for sure. Because, and the other thing is, like my old family farm, we sold it, but um, it was so big. I literally at the time I was 16, 17,
Mhm.
whatever. And
Yeah.
like I literally just couldn't afford all the seed, so I couldn't
Yeah.
plant it all.
Of course.
And so, and then all this stuff would just be tall grass. And the first like season or two, I just mowed it. Well, bush hogged it. And then I started learning about all this. I'm like, why aren't these deer just coming to this food plot? Like I maybe made like an acre of it into clover.
Mhm.
And I had some deer in there, but nothing that I really was just like, come on.
Mhm.
Until it was nighttime, after I left, and it was, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and these big deer are strolling in here. And then I learned about all this cover stuff. So, my kind of point is you don't have to wrap it if you can't do it. Like
Yeah.
just let nature take over. And dude, and that's what I did. And I cut those paths. And then, obviously, man, if you can wrap it in corn, buddy, those deer,
Yeah.
golly bum. That all these bucks that we've seen there, they are eating that corn. Golly
Mhm.
bum, they're tearing it up.
Oh,
But,
they are.
you know, man, if you can have cover and then a path that goes to that food source, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, and that's the truth, man. And in fact, I even did that on our quail habitat this year. I ran out of time to plant everything that I needed to plant, so I just went in and let it grow up, let the natural native grass grow. And buddy, it's about waist high, and I just went in and bush hog strips through it. and I'm going to go back in a week or two and bush hog my cross lane, so that way we can put water buckets at the end for the dogs. But man, it was
Yep.
free. I mean, that's all free. That's God's plants that He put right there in that soil, buddy. And it's called the seed bank. There's a bank of seed in the soil that just naturally grows. So that's what we have in that field. And let me tell you something, it works phenomenally. It is outstanding cover for those little quail birds. They're probably never going to live, but you know what? It's going to be a dang fun time doing it. So I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to that. So we may have to do a little test hunt here before long, old Johnny boy. Let this
Don't you tempt me with a good time.
let this weather get cooler so them dogs don't get so hot, and we'll dive on off in there, and we'll have to make some fried quail with white rice and brown gravy. Ooh, ooh, ooh! What you talking about? That is some fine pickings right there. If you never had it, go get it. Try it. It's worth every second. But to turn us back to where we started on our hunt, you know, we're getting into mid-October here, and buddy, I'm telling you right now, this weather is something amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, it was hot when we were in the stand. It was hot. It was 85 degrees to be exact. And this week, the highest I've seen is 74. And I was like, oh, buddy. And the low, guess what the low is, John? A cool 36 degrees on Wednesday. And I'm like, oh, buddy. And you know what's funny is that's the coldest that I remember in mid-October in this state. And I'll be honest with you, I think we're going to have earlier rut activity. And here's why I think that. It's because I have noticed a bunch of scrapes already, John. I mean, a pile of them. I noticed one on our home farm yesterday that I usually don't get any scrapes on that road until mid-November. And there were two of them side by side under the same Lincoln branch right there, right side by side with a little bit of leaves dividing them. And I thought, oh crap, this is getting real. Because every year I've got a camera over there, man, and a food plot. So it's right off the edge of the food plot. And every year you can mark your calendar by it. Mid-November, they're on fire over there. Well, this year, mid-October, they're on fire over there. So, I mean, I'm still getting pictures as we speak from the WiseEye cameras in the HuntWise app. HuntWise app. Well, we use HuntWise too. I actually mapped off that food plot in the HuntWise app, just so you know. But the game cameras are HuntWise. I get a little brain confused there a little bit.
I know. It's a lot. You got HuntWise, WiseEye, and then the Hunt Control.
Yeah,
there's just a lot going on right there.
Yeah. So, man, I've been watching that Hunt Control all morning, buddy, and because of course my camera battery died. Of course it did. Right when they start scraping.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, fantastic. That's what I wanted, was for my dang camera battery to die. But nonetheless, man, I can't believe that we have scrapes this early. And
it's crazy, really.
It is, man. And I've had this year on this farm, I have some of the most mature bucks I have ever had. And one of them looks like he's got a big old basketball belly. I mean, it just sags, man. I'm like, oh, yeah. You know, he ain't going to score a lot. He's a solid 8-point. But, buddy, I'm telling you right now, if he gives me an opportunity, we're going to let an arrow fly or some lead scream, one of the two.
Yep. Whichever happens first. I'm right there with you, dude.
That's it.
You know, this cold front that's coming in here that you're talking about is going to be a game changer. This thing, I don't think maybe one other time I've seen this early of a cold front. You know, like we're towards, yes, we're in the middle of October, but towards the beginning of the middle, if that kind of makes sense. You know, we're in the 13th, 14th, not the 18th or 19th. You know, so so we're on the very beginning of the middle of October here. This cold front's coming down, and dude, it feels amazing. Number one. And these deer are loving it, man. I was watching my cameras as well this morning. I didn't miss anything too fascinating during legal hours, but Probably like an hour before shooting light, I had my Big 8 on camera, and I was like, "Oh, buddy." So the last time he was on camera at night, he came in the evening. So we're going to try to recreate that scene and make that happen this evening. Because, buddy, if you can find you an October cold front, odds are pretty good. And so I am really excited about that. It's actually going to be I'm going to be sitting in the same blind over the same field that just about a week ago now, maybe 5 days ago, my dad got his first deer of the season. So that was really incredible. I'm gonna deep dive into that if y'all will let me here for just a second. I know I start to ramble on and I get to going, but
tell us the story about your Paul shooting a deer,
buddy. So look, first thing you got to realize about my dad is he don't give a crap about crap. I'm just telling you right now, he don't care, and and now, granted, here's the reason. This is a little backstory. So about a year or so ago, my dad, he had a stroke in his eye, and he went blind in his right eye. Okay, and he's right eye dominant, right-handed, his whole life. So now, okay, he can't shoot he can't shoot a compound bow. He physically can't pull it back, let alone shoot it that way. So I was like, okay, we'll get you a crossbow. So okay, right, got a crossbow, and now that's a little easier to shoot left-handed. And so we practice, and he's shooting good, and all right, great. So now at this point, he's like, I'm just thankful I can even do this. So he said, John, the first deer that comes out, I'm shooting it. I was like, hey, all right, man, whatever, dude. I said, well, I know the place to go, so come on. And so we hop in this blind, and sure enough, around 5:30 or so, deer start piling in, and there's 5 deer in the field here. I think there's three like big does and 2 babies. So anyway, this doe comes about 40 yards broadside, and he's like, I think I can actually see that one really good, because he was having kind of some trouble seeing. And I was like, hey, dude, don't shoot unless you're comfy. I said, these deer, they're going to be in here for an hour and a half. Just take all the time you need. It's like, I've been watching them for weeks. I promise it'll be fine. And one finally just stands there and is eating this Daikon radish, just chewing away. And for a blind, non-dominant hand shot, dude, he's freaking smoked that thing.
Dang.
He's shooting these. They're not even like, I don't even know if they're really, I forget the brand, but just a regular fixed blade. And dude, he so I'm watching it through the binos, and he shoots, and the deer, kind of ducks a little. And I was like, man, I think he hit that deer just a little low and stuff. He's like, and the whole time, dude, he's like, I smoked it. I know I freaking did. I smoked that deer. I was like, all right, man. Well, let's just wait here for a minute. Let's get all of our stuff out of the blind. Let's go try to find the bolt and all that. So, we get out there, dude, there's no blood. Can't find the bolt. Like, oh no. I believe, I don't know if it was just not a good hit or he missed. Like, I'm not really sure yet. But he's telling me through this whole time of us looking for blood and everything, he's like, I smoked that deer. I'm like, all right, man. Hey, if you are that confident, then let's just go look. So I just like, okay, if there's no blood, I need to look for some sort of path that this deer may have run. And what I mean by that is you can really see where anybody, like if you walked in your living room and started falling down and pushing stuff out of the way to get somewhere, you would know. It's the same way here. Like, you're like, oh, this looks different. I just start following, and I'm just beat bopping. Dude, sure enough, dude, like 40 yards in the woods, there's this doe piled up. I'm like, and he freaking smoked that thing.
Dang.
And I think it just happened so fast. I mean, it was a complete pass through. And I mean, it just didn't even really have time to bleed, I don't think.
Yeah.
It just was done. We ended up finding the bolt. I mean, dude, it was perfect. it was just
Mm.
like, holy crap, he just smoked. And it had the perfect, like kind of triangle look thing, where it punched through the deer. So I mean, it was just awesome. You go from maybe not able to hunt ever again because you're blind in your dominant eye, and you got to retrain your body at what's he now? He's I think he's 59 now.
Oh,
So I
wow.
mean, whenever you're at that point in your life and you have to retrain everything, that's a big, big task. And
Yeah.
but he did it. He smoked that deer, and he processed it all himself. And man, he just crushed it. So that it's always special, right? Whenever you're out with your family and you're in God's creation and you're in your deer hunting, and then let alone you actually get one and a plan comes together. And we had built that platform that the blind was on. We had both of us had built this food plot, and then of course everything that happened, and then he gets to tag a deer. That was really, really awesome. So
Yeah.
man, it's just super, and that you just really have to enjoy every moment, man, because you just never know. I mean, he just went to bed one night and his eye was a little cloudy, and he has diabetes. He's like, I probably just my sugar's too high or too low or whatever, and then he wakes up and he's blind. It's like, so
Oh my
you
gosh.
just, dude, you just never know, man. So you just got to take every single moment, and cherish it. And
Yes, you do.
so my point was saying that is if you can get out and go, just go.
Yep. Especially if you can go with your daddy, your relatives, or uncles,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
anybody,
man, your
man.
best friend.
Best friends, whatever. Just go. Just go sit in the woods and enjoy your time in God's creation, man. Because I just got back from Arkansas, and we'll talk about that on the next episode there about brushing duck blinds, getting ready for duck season. So, but
Oh yeah.
the point of saying that is that I brought back 50 quarts worth of deer burger and steak and back straps. Oh yeah, dude, I had 20 pounds of burger meat off that buck. 20 pounds, 21-pound packages from that buck. And that's not counting the backstrap. That's not counting the steaks that came with it. That's not counting the cube steak and all that stuff. That's just the burger meat alone. So,
Heck yeah.
let me tell you something. I'm real proud to have cube steak and burger meat and back straps at my house, and we will consume that deer here soon. We're going to segue, and that's what your boy is about to start cooking is deer meat, because I've been taking note of all your cooking while we've been together. And yeah,
Oh yeah.
John, you've been teaching me whether you knew it or not. I was listening. I was paying attention to everything. And then I sat there and edited both those videos for about 3 hours. So it's kind of ingrained in my head
Yep.
now. So, we're gonna cook and eat on this deer. And you know what's great about this is that I know 110% for a fact that this buck is pure and awesome, and there's no substances in this deer. It's all
You're right. Yeah, man.
clean,
There's no
beautiful meat.
additives and
No.
red 33 and yellow 57,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever else
Yeah.
crap is in our
No,
food today.
we don't have any of that, man. It's pure, beautiful meat sent to us from God Himself. So
Yeah,
that's what we have.
100% venison.
Oh, yeah. 100% natural, ready to go.
Now look, I got to tell you another story here.
I'll go ahead.
So look, you want to talk about 100% natural. So my wife last year was fortunate enough to watch me shoot this buck out of the field here. So she knew I was going to get it mounted, So around this time of year, everyone's talking about deer hunting and cold fronts, and right? And that's what we're talking about. But what sometimes we fail to mention is this is also usually the time of year that your bucks from last year are ready at the taxidermist.
Yes.
Rough and tough.
Yep.
So, sure enough, I get the phone call from my good buddy John Luke. He says, "Hey, buddy, man, we got your deer ready." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, here we go."
Yeah.
So, anyway, I get the buck, dude. It looks freaking awesome, man. Gosh dang, it looks great.
Monster
dude.
buck.
And I'm like over the moon about it. And then, I bring it home and I put it on the wall, and the whole family comes over for dinner and they're all looking at it. And they have never had a deer mount in their house before. Like, whoa, this is a new territory for them. And new territory for my wife as well. And whenever I got with her, I was explaining to her the whole idea of hunting and how it provides and yada yada yada. And this was one of the coolest moments. She was looking at the deer and was like, "You shot that thing here, and then it fed us, and then now it's here on the wall." I said, "Well, and it's here on the wall that way we can never forget, and also that way we could, we can always cherish that moment, and also just kind of remember, like, hey, this dude fed us. This dude gave us a great memory together. I don't want to forget it, and I want to preserve that memory forever." And it was really cool to watch her just kind of connect the dots there, and everything kind of came full circle. So you talk about 100% natural. That's why it's so important to involve everybody in it for me, because then they get to see the whole moment there kind of come full circle, and it all comes together. And it was just really awesome kind of watching my wife connect the dots and being like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Yeah.
So thankfully she let me put it up in the living room.
What?
It's there now. It's awesome. Yep. This turkey's coming right up next to it. I done got the go ahead for that. So,
well, good, because I was going to say, when I come up to shoot some does with you, we were just going to send her on her way to town, and me and you were going to put it up in there right before I leave.
That's right.
and my wife is
get them in there.
Just the opposite. She's like, "Hey, when you bringing that taxidermy home?" And her mama is like, "Hey, you gonna kill me some deer to put on my wall this year?" I was like, "How about we do this? We can cycle out the deer that I've already got to your house and put the new ones in my office." Yeah. How about that? That's what we'll do right
exactly.
there. Because I've got 20 of them here in my office. I think there's like 16 of them here in the office. Some are like that, just skull. Actually, a lot of them are skull caps, but there's also several shoulder mounts, and I got to, make some room in here for this season. Because as you know, the velvet buck, it'll be here about September of next year. And y'all, man, I'm going to Texas next weekend. For 6 days. Yeah. Just know we're going to Texas. Not telling you.
It's going to get nasty.
I ain't going to tell you with who. I ain't going to tell you where. We're going to Texas, and we're going to have a ball, and with some great brothers of mine. They're awesome individuals. Just great, great humans, and they just asked to be anonymous, and that's where we're going to keep it, is anonymous.
There you go.
So, but just know, if you're listening, be fun. If you guys are listening, just know that your boy appreciates you from the chest, from the heart there. Y'all are great dudes, and greatly, greatly appreciate you.
Yeah, Ben's going to come back with a giant from Texas, if I had to guess.
I hope so. That'd be fun. That would be fun. A whole lot of fun. I'd love it.
That'd be real great.
I'd be excited.
Get out of here.
Who knows? I may get a wild hair.
Oh, all day long.
Try to find me somewhere to shoot a zebra. I'm just kidding.
Dude, Texas is a wild place, man. Oh my god,
it is. Actually, if I was going to shoot anything else other than a buck, it would be an axis deer again, or a what's the name of that? I can see it now. You know what I'm talking about? It's the Asian antelope, that big old rascal. It's like 1,200 pounds. They got him at the King Ranch.
Oh, the nilgai?
Yes, the nilgai. That's it. I want to kill a nilgai because now they have escaped all these high fences and stuff like that, and they have created a free range population. So,
Uh-oh.
is right. It's like the Axis deer that my mother-in-law stole them out. Actually, I let her have it. But it's at her house. Anyway, that was free range. It was awesome. Super
Heck
cool.
yeah.
Shot that rascal and thought I literally watched him jump the fence to the neighbor's farm, and my heart sank into my stomach, and I thought, no.
Mm.
Luckily, though, the guy that was working there was like, "Oh yeah, I know them. You're good." I was like, "Oh," and there was actually a gate at
Thank
the
God.
back side of the farm that we could just scoot right over there and grab him. So I was like, "Well, that's fantastic. That's nice." So, but yeah, man, the old 6.5 PRC is going to work this weekend. I killed that one with a 300 window mag. If you don't know what a window mag is, it's a 300 Win Mag, but it goes out the window of my shooting house every time. That's why I call it the window mag.
And there you go.
Because it's too heavy to carry around in the mountains, so you have to go sit somewhere. That's why it's called the window
That's
mag.
exactly right.
Yes.
There
Yes,
you go.
sirree. Absolutely. Well, John, if you don't have anything else, I'll close her out here. But you got anything?
Nope.
All right.
No, man, I think I'm good. I just wanted to tell the story there about my mount, but
Yeah.
other than that, brother, I just hope everyone has a fantastic season. Watch out for that October cold front, because it's coming.
Be in the woods. Love God, love the woods, and love your neighbors. Just remember that. Always love your neighbors and be good stewards of what God has given us, which is these critters, the lands, everything. Be good stewards. With that, we're going to wrap this baby up. Remember, you can go to our website, rootedtelevision.com, for all the swag for Rooted Podcast and Rooted Television. And if you're feeling generous and want to donate some cash to this thing to work, head over to this episode, and there's actually a link in the description. In fact, there's a link to this particular thing in every single description of every episode. We would greatly appreciate it. We want to keep doing this, so any and all support is very helpful. Thank you guys so much. The Redneck is out.
See y'all.
Boom. For all things Rooted Podcast and Rooted Television, and I mean hats, shirts, hoodies, and other merch, check out our friends at CH Lone Star Pro and the link that is in our description.